Welcome to TheEatingCast. I am Chris.
And I'm Vincent. And today we got rapper, actor, businessman Mario Canon. Welcome.
What's up? Welcome, Mario. So glad to have you on, especially during these times. You know, it's really rough for a lot of people, especially during the whole beginning with like the whole COVID thing, and then now kind of like the whole new movement with like the Black Lives Matters and everything like that. So kind of like with that being said, Mario, could you just kind of give us like a little rundown of who you are, what you're doing, and kind of like where you're going?
All right, cool, man. Well, for those of y'all don't know, man, of course, my name is Mario Canon. I'm a business owner, artist, and actor. So right now, I own Anytime Fitness franchise, and also I just dropped the dope project Dark Mode as far as an EP. And as far as acting, my last lead role was on Fox Empire, which I have some other things I'm working on as of now too. But that's we're gonna talk about. Yeah, we're gonna dive in a little bit to that. But yeah, so.
Mario, were you always gonna be going for the entertainment industry, like just growing up? What was your plan?
All right, so look, I'm like every kid, growing up in the hood. I guess you wanted to go to the NBA and you wanted to be a rapper. I always wanted to be in entertainment. I always wanted to be an artist, so I did. And, even when I was a kid, I used to bring my mixtapes to my games. And people would laugh. They were so weak, though. I mean, they was bad, But I would draw the covers, so none of the covers looked the same.
Yeah,
I draw the covers. Everybody got different mixtapes.
Yeah. Dude, that should be You got your own personalized album cover, bro.
Yeah, that's unique.
Bro, draw that So yeah, it was crazy, man. Yeah,
that's definitely very everyone starts somewhere, right? And that's kind of like where it all started. And with having it being individualized like that, it's like, oh, look at this! I got this limited edition, right? Mario Canon mixtape. Yo, come on, that's legit right there, dude. One of a kind. There's no other one like it. That's really awesome. So kind of from there, right? Just kind of dropping those mixtapes, at your games and everything like that. How did that kind of not really give you a 180, right? From basketball and rapping, but how did that kind of open your world up into the entertainment in terms of movies and stuff like that?
What really opened the world up as far as the grind was college allowed me to get involved with different departments, like theatrical departments and different programs putting together, male pageants, plays, hosting stuff. So when I got to college is when I really got to start experiencing different organizations that put on different events. And I started getting involved with that. So I went from, doing local shows, rapping with my homies to now I'm doing shows involving different, organizations with the schools, and meeting other powerful people that are trying to do what I'm doing. So surrounding myself with like-minded people who were trying to do the same thing I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to find the like-minded people? I remember I messaged you one time on Instagram about that first table, having the people at that first table. Was that hard for you to find those supporters and your team, making your team?
Yeah. Because it's hard to separate. Sometimes you might like somebody, you might think they're cool, but a lot of times they might not be business mindset. They might not have the same goals as you. You can still think somebody's cool, but a lot of times the emotional attachment to that person might foreshadow. It might put some blinders on you because they might not be relatively good for your progression and growth. But just because you have an emotional attachment to that person or thing, it could be a vice, right? So a lot of times, it's tough trying to find that, but you got to really be honest with yourself. That's what comes to being honest with what you're doing, what you're trying to do. So yeah, it's tough.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something I can imagine it just being really hard, right? Because whether it's a friend or someone you met throughout college, right? That's kind of saying you can definitely you can definitely like do this, right? You can definitely go up and like just start acting, right? Kind of like it's pushing you to kind of like achieve more, right? You definitely want to bring them along that journey too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, I never even thought about it like that in terms of like just kind of trying to find someone.
Yeah, because like you can have somebody that's funny, cool,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just funny and cool, but it stops there. So, where's the growth? What do they have other textures they can really build and dive into those different textures so you can grow, right? So I'm not saying only hang around people that are rich or only hang around other people who own businesses, but hang around people who have a similar mindset that can challenge you, right? So you guys can continue to challenge each other and grow, right? Kind of like when people say iron sharpens iron, that same mentality is when you're dealing with your colleagues or your peers. That's the type of people you want around you, uplifting people who challenge you and bring more energy to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
The common theme that Chris and I have been seeing too with hustlers and people who are who are entrepreneurs, one problem is that they encounter so many snakes. So how do you, like, I feel like that's inevitable, right? You just encounter this bad batch of people that just kind of want to tear you down, and it just feels so draining. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
I have my day.
yeah. How do you, what's your solution when it comes to that? When you find out, well, I guess two things. So one, when you find out that that person is more or less a burden on you. And then the second thing, what do you do to better yourself, or do you try to better them as well? Like, do you grow yourself, or do you leave them behind, or do you try to lend a hand and try to help them? Like, what's your thing?
Um, so when you encounter, let's say you encounter someone that's toxic, right? I believe everybody deserves a second chance, right? So you want to try to instill, give them some tools they can build with and build themselves, right? So you want to give them the energy and opportunity to prove themselves. Now, depending on what kind of snake we're talking about now, right? So, but if that person continues to show that same pattern of regression, right? If they're still regressing, then you got to cut ties, right? You can still be acquaintances from a distance, but you got to cut ties. You got to move on. And one thing that I've learned to do, and I've been taught this by some of my mentors, is you need to limit your access, right? You shouldn't be so accessible, because when you're too accessible, and then you're more prone for failure, right? The more people around you, the more chances you have for failure or something to happen, right? You can have like 10 homies around you. One of the homies might be doing something, illegal, but you're not. But since that one homie is doing something illegal, then it falls on who's the most powerful person in this group. Who can we pin this on, that this charge or this situation on, that has the most money and the most clout or the most social economic value, which is very important too. And so that you got to really understand how important, that is, man. And I have a big heart. And so me and my homie, Ruben, we always talk about that, like I have a big heart. And sometimes I find myself holding on to individuals for a long time because I want to see them grow and I want to help them because they're limping. But at the same time, people injure themselves. If you want to keep injuring yourself, that's cool. You ain't on my team because I'm trying to win this game.
Yeah. So what's Ruben? He's your son? You adopted him?
Nah, man, Ruben, my bro, man.
I love Ruben.
No, he don't look like me because he's not shit. No, never mind. He gonna see this video. In order to be my son, one must go to the gym. Not kidding. Shout out Ruben.
Ruben, we love you, man. Baby horchata.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No. But yeah, definitely. Like I resonate with that a lot. Like kind of like with the whole like big heart thing, and kind of like if someone just kind of like just keeps going down the same path, right? It's like you just got to cut ties, because it's just not good for you. It's not healthy. Like I too have like had several experiences where like I've had friends where I still love them to death, right? But like just kind of giving my time and like energy, right, to kind of like help them try and achieve more than where they're currently at. It's just like it's really draining, and it took me a really long time to realize that that's a really big problem, and just kind of like from there just you know what, I need to just back off a little bit and just kind of like reassess the situation, and like maybe it's not the best idea to just kind of keep coming down here because it's really like bringing me down now. You know, it's bringing me down like another level, kind of like to where you are. Even though I want to uplift you and everything like that.
A simple thing that I heard, and this is crazy, came from the rapper Future, one of his older stuff. When he said, if you have to question the person next to you, cut them off. And that was one of his bars. And it stuck with me as a shorty because I said this in the Future a long time ago when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that stuck with me. If you got to question the person next to you, cut them off.
Plain and simple, just like that.
Yeah, especially in this like dog eat dog world, like you can't risk it, like, because by the time you reach the top of the mountain and then you still had that guy like lingering on, it's over. You know,
Over.
it's over.
I gotta pull this rope up now, man. Come on, hurry up.
It's done. Like you gotta realize right away. I know.
Yeah.
Did you is that how it is in the entertainment industry as well? Is it kind of like that too?
The entertainment industry, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors when you're dealing with people because there's so many opportunists, so you don't know who's genuine at a lot of times, especially, in the acting world as well. So you don't know who's around you to see how many followers you got or what accolades you got, how they can get to the next step. In the process, I've met some really dope, genuine people who we're going to be lifetime friends, right? So I've met people that are really powerful, and they're just great people. For the entertainment business, man, what it is cutthroat, okay? And so you have to be reserved, and you have to learn to listen, and you have to learn to pay attention. You gotta pay attention. People get to talking fast. Listen, okay. And they get to show you, and I know so and so, and I'm connected with so. I do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you gotta prove to me, you gotta talk yourself up, and then I'm definitely that's my antennas up now because you are doing way too much. Trying to talk to make me believe who you are.
Right. Yeah.
So you should convince me who you are. I should see who you are already.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and I started to realize that too ever since we started this podcast thing early April of last year. The more people that I've met, there are those that you just mentioned, Mario, that like they boast the people that they know and not so much themselves. So it's like, so what kind of value do you actually bring to the table, right? It's like you keep bragging about these other people, but do you even know them, or are you just an acquaintance? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I get it all the time, man. And people, they name drop so much. So and so? Yeah, I know what that is, man. Well, that is my cousin's friend's brother, second removed. They have the same pair of socks. I'm like, oh, I was tight. Hey, I didn't know that. That's cool. So that's when I get real uninterested, and I like kind of like drift off, and start thinking about random stuff while they're talking.
Yeah.
So.
So it was Empire your first act, or did you have projects before that?
No, man, I had a lot of projects before that. I did a lot of independent films before that. I did some commercial work as well, so I did some TV. So yeah, I did a lot of work before that. So, man, I did a movie. Religio was one of my first auditions that I had landed with Alley Cake Films. It was called Religio, and it was powerful. I played a detective, and it was fire. You gotta look it up. It's called Religio. Alley Cake Films. That was my first. I was playing a detective, and I ain't gonna lie. I was a rookie, so my lines I was kind of like a little not as strong as I used to be. I'm trying to look it up now.
You said freeze.
Well, it was kind of, what I'm saying? It was kind of like, I had a strong actor with me too. Like one of the dudes, I'm trying to look him up, his name, James Earl Jones Jr. All right, the second. James, and that dude, he was phenomenal, man. And for that to be my first gig was crazy. And what's crazy about that gig is when I got the day I did the audition was a day my cousin got murdered, right? And so I did that audition. I just got the call. I'm getting off the ramp to get to the audition. And my auntie calls me and she gives me the news. And so I don't know whether to turn around or go to the hospital. I'm already here. So dude, I gotta hold it together, right? So I'm like shocked. All right. This is like this can't believe this is my brother. We grew up in the same household. This is my brother, he's my first cousin, and so I go in there and Ruben's like, "You cool, man?" And I was like, "Bro, so and so just got murdered." So then I'm like, "Yo," he said, "You gotta do this audition then." So I go and do the audition. I do my monologue, and they look at me, and it's like, "Where do you get all your pain from?" And I couldn't even tell them. I was just like, I told them, I was like, "This is my life," And then after the audition, and everything, I cried the whole way back driving on the highway. And that was the first time. After that audition, I got calls from like three or four directors that I was doing, because it was like an open casting type of thing. And 3 or 4 directors, I was turning down stuff. Okay, like I was turning down people that were calling me, and then I got the one who I wanted, which was Ali Cake Films. And I did the detective movie, which did awesomely amazing. But that was the first thing I landed where I had to really audition for, and the circumstances were unfortunate. But that pain put me in that, in that place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. First and foremost, sorry to hear about him.
Yeah.
And there was a thing that you said about the pain, and this was when Shia LaBeouf was on, I think Sway in the Morning or something, and he was freestyling. And this one line that he spit, that resonated with me, was, "The most beautiful and creative shit come from painful shit." And I'm like, damn, that is so true. Because one thing that I like to do, I like to write spoken word. I like to do poetry on my own time. And I like to think back. And most times it comes from sad, dark, painful shit where like beautiful things come out, which is so interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that. Definitely, bro. Like that's no questions. The best work comes from the lowest points, from the darkest place, for the light comes, So, and it makes you appreciate things a lot more, right? So, had you always had things given or present or available to you, then you wouldn't appreciate some of the simpler things in life, because you've already had those at your leisure. It's too easy to have, So it's another thing as well. So definitely.
Well, so were you born and raised in Chicago or?
No, so I'm originally from Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield. Okay.
Yeah. So the capital.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where I'm from, man. That's where I'm originally from. But I'm always in Chicago. Always all my homies in Chicago. But I got so many.
Yeah.
Where I'm always at. So
Mm-hmm.
Dan lived there, most of the back and forth. I'm there so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Would you say your upbringing and your experiences, obviously, like you said cousin, right? It was cousin that was murdered. Those kinds of experiences, is that what fueled your music as well?
Yeah. So to be quite honest with you, it was 2 of us. It was me, Tone, and Muggsy, and they both were murdered. And so I'm the one that's alive still, right? So growing that pain, the first time it happened, it put me in a position where I started to spiral a little bit out of control as far as my life, and I didn't care. But then it gave me another glass of light where I almost died, and it was like, man, I'm gonna die if I don't change. Let's be straight, black and white. If I don't change, I'm gonna die. If I don't live better, I'm gonna die. And so once I started to understand that, and there was a lot of people that loved me, that cared about me, and having a son and stuff, and I had to grow, because if not, I was not going to be alive, because death was around me all the time, and death keeps visiting me, but he's not visiting me, he's visiting people I love around me. So everything I love is being taken from me. then I gotta change. I gotta change something. So,
What was going through your heart and mind when you had that first epiphany? When you were like, I gotta change. Like I know I yet like you said, death was coming for the people around you and not me. What exactly did that manifest in you? Like how did you feel?
well, when I started to get sober again, right, because I had a real bad problem with alcohol and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what, this sucks. Like, I'm not happy. Like, let's just be. I need to be confident again. I need to get confident in myself, and not trying to appease other people. And I think the problem, what manifested that too, was trying to, one, keep up with an image that wasn't me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And two, again, keeping people around who really don't care if you live or die, right? They're just along for the ride. This dude's got low self-esteem. He's going to buy the alcohol. He's going to buy whatever drugs we need. He's spiraling down. So once I hit rock bottom, where I financially was just drained, I didn't have anything. That's when I started to really change and try to grow and change my mindset. Because I was sitting in my apartment with no furniture, no lights, pair of Jordans, TV on the floor. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, nobody rocking with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody even care about me. And I'm sitting in this place. So I had to really understand, like, it's time for me to, try to grow. So
Mm-hmm. I respect that. It takes a lot of mental strength, bro.
yeah, it do, man. It do.
Mm-hmm. Do you, and then I know you said you channel that through, your career and music and acting. Do you try to use that energy as well to empower the youth? Because I know in your music you said something about like, or you had an interview saying that you don't swear because you wanted to be like a positive impact or something like that, right?
So I knew, like, so how I do it through the music was, I knew that I just stopped using profanity in my music. Now, I knew it would hurt my views a little bit, because it's not the type of rap that normally even myself, like, people will listen to, because I'm not cursing, right? I'm not using profanity. So people like that dark energy.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that if I wanted to make a difference artistically in that matter, that's what I wanted to do. It just came to me naturally. I started making songs without profanity. It just naturally came. It wasn't something I said I was going to do. It's something I felt great about doing. I just started doing it. I didn't say, man, I ain't cussing my raps no more.
Right.
That's that. No, it's just like, no more cursing. Nah, it was just like, it just came. And I like the first song I did without profanity. I was like, man, that's dope. I like that song. And then my Aunt Sherry, she's a minister. My Uncle Wayne is. And she always tell me, boy, stop all that cussing. God loves you. You better stop all that cursing every time I would see her. And so I just felt good to be able to record, man, without using profanity. It was challenging me. And I do a lot for the youth. I might not post a lot of stuff I do, but I do go to schools and I speak to a lot of the youth. I do a bunch of dope stuff, or like charitable things.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't post a lot of stuff I do because I do it. It's real genuine, bro. It's from the heart. It's something that, like I said, I don't really publicize it that much. I just do it. Now, if they post something about it, then I'll share it or I'll post it. Yeah, but other than that, whenever I do charitable things or I do powerful things like that, I'm just do it. And if they want to post it, I'll post it.
That's awesome. That's really powerful, right? Because like that's saying a lot, right? Because you're doing something that's charitable in a sense where it's like you do it just because you want to do it. It's what you feel right, and you don't really care if you share it or not. You don't care if the world knows that you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's just really powerful because you have a lot of people here, right? That's kind of like doing it for the clout, right? Like this one post I saw a little while, like I think like last week or like 2 weeks ago, during the riots in like I believe LA or something like that. There was this lady. She was just like holding up a drill, pretending to help one of these contractors like board up a building, and like just for that quick post, like thank you and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, that's really crazy. Like to go up to someone, but can I borrow that drill just for a quick post to like kind of like show the world that, hey, I'm doing something. I'm doing like, no, I'm helping the community board up the buildings and everything like that. It's like, that's too much, man.
Cloud is a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah.
Right after that, she hopped in the car and she just went.
Yeah, they just hopped in their car and then just left. I'm like, dude.
Cloud is a hell of a drug, man. It's like clout, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's like me handing a homeless guy $1, but like, how you doing, bro? Let me get this selfie when I give you this $1 real quick, bro. Here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
But I think like that's kind of something that's a big problem in kind of especially like our generation, like the generations that's coming up. It's like we're so caught up with this altered reality, right? That we forget what reality really is, in a sense where what we see online and what we see people post, we feel like we're absorbed into it and we think that is reality. But in reality of that, right, it's kind of like way different because it's like people just trying to like they don't see the struggle or like the efforts that people did to make that picture on Instagram like pop, right? They don't see that, they saved their life savings just to go to that country, find that waterfall or whatever, and then just like take that amazing photo, edit it, and then post it. It's just like instant gratification or something.
Instagram, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything is quick. So people are used to having results from playing. It's kind of like when you play a video game, right? And then you press the button and the player shoots or the gun shoots or the player moves. So people are used to having instant results like that. So it's kind of like the same format, right? In life, where you can get that instant especially with financial gains and things like that. So yeah, you see that a lot. So yeah,
definitely. So then, like, what's kind of like with that being said, it's like what kind of keeps you going, right? Like achieving all this stuff.
You guys, like
us,
yeah, man. People reaching out to me, thinking I'm great, thinking I'm doing great things, and wanting to know more about me.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I do this, the more to tell. I got more experiences.
Yeah.
So when people will get inspired to interview me or inspired to do something great because I did it, that just keeps me going, man. I like putting smiles on people's faces. I just did a TikTok the other day on some other girl.
I saw that.
And it was goofy, but like it was random. She was like doing a TikTok, and I just like jumped into her TikTok and like messed it up. And like now it's like she's like, I think it's the coolest thing in the world. Okay,
blowing up.
See, you never know who you're a hero to, bro. That's the thing. You never know who you're an inspiration to. And I was talking to this like transformational coach earlier. His name is Kerry Hokama, and he's based in California. But he was saying to me, he was giving me advice, and he was saying like, don't do things just to inspire people, because people who think you're inspiring, they'll say that. You don't have to say that. And he was saying, just do what you love, do what you're passionate about, and eventually that energy is going to come to you by itself. Don't look for it. It's going to come automatically. That's the same with the easiest example would be money, right? Don't worry about money. If you work hard, the money will come. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
and that's been sticking with me because this entire time, not gonna lie, like I wanted to have a platform where I could, speak up and inspire the youth and empower people and encourage people to do good. But if I'm only chasing that, I won't get too far, because then because if I'm not true to myself, right? If you're not authentic, which is key to a lot of things, you got to be authentic. Then you're just chasing that, instant gratification. And then when you don't have those people who look up to you, and all of a sudden they're not inspired by you, then you're just gonna fall really hard, and
true.
And it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. People take themselves too serious, man. I think people got to relax. Everybody tends to. Right now, everybody's waiting to be offended, or they're taking themselves too serious. They're like self-entitled, like like you said, I'm here to inspire. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this, I'm that, So I think if people can loosen up a little bit, man, and just enjoy life, because it's short. So enjoy it, have fun, and while you're having fun, help somebody else smile too, man. So
Definitely.
So let's actually go back to the album. I didn't get to ask you, but what is Dark Mode about?
I went into a dark mode during COVID-19, man. So dark mode was really like I was like, man, my business is shut down. You know, my son and daughter's out of school. I don't got no damn income. I canceled my damn movies I was supposed to be in, independent films. I'm out here. I'm thugging. I'm not getting no business loans right now. They're not giving me nothing. The government playing with my money. What am I gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
So I just went into dark mode. So therapeutically, I just went. Everything I said in dark mode, I actually did. So like typically when I rap, I try to. I'm straight honest with what I'm doing, and just to get people with a realistic view. But I was just like, I'm doing dark mode. I'm dropping, boom, and there it was. Dark mode was done, just like that.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
But yeah, like with the whole COVID thing and kind of like having that really impact dark mode coming out and kind of like impacting you like personally on like a financial level as well as kind of like I would assume also at the mental level, is because now you're struggling and you're stressing out about like I've got no income.
COVID did the opposite for me. It gave me time to sit back. I got to sleep more. I got to work on my body more. At first, I was panicking about finances, but I don't even care. Like, I've been so broken, so without before. It's like, well, whatever. Everything will work itself out. But what it did was allow me to fine tune and reinvent myself artistically and creatively, and then kind of dig a little deeper in some darker textures, with myself, right?
Yeah.
So it allowed me to recharge my brain, and now I am ready to lock and load, and I started recording like crazy. I probably got like 3 albums ready to go right now. I've recorded already.
There you go. We're waiting for the drops now.
That's a lot of work.
Oh man, I got some beautiful work getting ready to release, man. So I got some powerful music. So yeah.
Do you do a lot of collabs too, or no?
Yeah, I did a lot of collabs on this one. I got Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, I got
that's OG.
I got my Montana 300 and Bone on the same song with me. That's my next release right now. So
nice.
And I'm ready. I'm working on remastering that and getting it done right now. So, yeah.
To this day, Bone Thugs and Harmony, their song, I forgot the name, but it was like
Crossroads.
Huh?
Was it Crossroads?
It was like, I'm posting up right here. It was like the music video was like snowing. I forgot what it was called.
But yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that to this day, that shit makes me tear up because that's such a heartfelt song. It might be Crossroads. I think it's Crossroads.
I think it's Crossroads, bro. See you at the crossroads, and you won't be lonely.
Yeah, I think it might be that.
Crossroads. That's Crossroads. But yeah, I got some dope collabs, man. I had a bunch of collabs on this one because I was just getting different textures from different people, whatever. But yeah, I actually got inspired by the gospel too. Going to church and stuff. I just did this. Man, it's powerful.
Man, I love gospel stuff like Kanye. I love that so much. I don't know why. It's so empowering. Makes me want to.
Yeah, I just performed at a church Sunday twice. I had two services I performed and spoke at.
Nice.
My first time ever doing it.
How was that?
Man, it was so powerful, man. I actually had tears on stage when I was speaking because it just came to me. And I ain't never done it. I'm not the church dude. I'm not the dude that's in church every Sunday. I was the person when I talk, and stuff. I ain't gonna cap like I'm in church every Sunday. No, I'm not. GTA 5.
Yeah.
But no, it was powerful, man. So I'm excited to even start getting into that, a little more. So.
Yeah, that's definitely dope. Yeah. To really see that kind of like just flow the way it did for you, and then just kind of having the impact that it did. That's definitely very empowering.
In fact, I have to do an interview with the church this week, just like this, live. They want to speak to me about what's going on and have me reflect on the topic. So, yeah.
Okay. That's definitely going to be something that's really fun to kind of do and just look back on.
Yeah, it's going to be powerful, man. I'm excited. So, yeah.
I know we talked about that the way you inspire other people. Do you have anyone that you look up to I know you mentioned a mentor earlier, but yeah, you want to go in on that?
Yeah, man, I got a few mentors, man. I don't know if you guys are specific, but I got a few men that, a few people that I talk to that I look up to, men and women, and they really just help me out because I glitch a little bit, right? So I'm in the matrix. I glitch. I have malfunctions all the time, and so sometimes I resort back to my neighborhood behavior, or sometimes I get like, I'm finna, and I'm a business owner. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not in the hood. Like, hold
Yeah.
on, gotta bring it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I got a lot of mentors, man, that put a lot of heavy stuff on me. And so it's very important to always be able to learn, because once you stop learning, that's when you stop growing, and that's when you stop growing. You're done. You can't learn no more. You're done. You're not gonna grow no more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's real.
Okay, so I don't know how to ask this. I could be entirely like butchering the way I'm asking this, so correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm offensive or anything. But within the black,
Offensive. No.
oh, there we go. Cut. Nah.
I'm triggered.
This guy. In the black community, what predominantly the younger kids, what kind of mentorship do they typically seek for? What kind of mentorship will help them most? Because in college, I know we talked about this before, but I was helping the less fortunate community in college. So like these like high schoolers would come in, and I would be like a college coach for them. And I really wanted to help them. I wanted to be like that mentor to them, but they didn't really see me as, like that guy. So I'm always wondering like what is it that they're looking for?
They need somebody they can relate to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So physically and mentally, right? So physically, when they first see you, they gotta resonate with you, right? And even Ruben, Baby Horchata, we kind of talked about this too. So I'll call him and talk to him a little bit about stuff. So first off, when they see you, you need something they can identify with, right? So you can come out with a suit on or a khakis or a polo on and try to speak to these kids, or you might throw in some Jordan 1 or something. Some they know, right? So some soft textures, some subtle like that, right? So I throw in something like that, And then also someone they can relate to, right? So not only relate to visually, but someone has had a similar experience to what they've been through, right? So you got that too. So a lot of times what the kids look for is they look for leadership. And then once you get on that level, you can get into like financial literacy and things like that. But first of all, they got to feel comfortable with you and open up to you, and you have to be cool to them, right? Leadership. And so I think a lot of times that when you get like these life coaches, and I'm not knocking anybody's life coach or anything, like I'm saying like some of them are out of touch with the urban community. And so they come in with their degrees, and the number one degree they forgetting to have is the experience, the degree of life. Like life is college too. And one person that said that, I don't know if you guys listen to this dude, but he's really intelligent despite how bad people think his music is. It's Lil B, the bass guy. And Lil B, the bass guy, said life is college. And I always thought life was college, right? And I always like, man, and I got to meet him too. He's so cool. And I was like, man, because he's one of my favorite artists. I'm not even gonna lie. Just because how innovative he was and how he just didn't care about rapping or whatever. And so that's what a lot of times they relate. They relate to people who've experienced what they experience, and not come in a lecture room, but come to listen to them speak, and then connect that energy, and really dig deep with them. So I have a great time with them, with the youth, because I'm a kid at heart. I'm goofy, man. At the same time, but I could turn it off and be serious. So yeah,
For sure.
so I can definitely feel I can relate to some of the common struggles of growing up in the Black community. Growing up in single parent homes, growing up on government assistance, being surrounded by gangs, murders, and stuff. Growing up, this lacking, you know, the daily needs and, you know, that people take for granted. And like I said before, some people have the leisure. That's all they expect. That I already had a car when I was, you know. So there's certain things that people take for granted that we didn't have. So when you experience that, then you could, you know, you could relate to them a little more. They're rockets, you know. And kids tell the truth. Like kids can sniff you out quick.
And they hurt when they speak the truth. So it hurts too.
Man, they know if you cap. My daughter, it was crazy. I went to the studio, and I don't hope these rappers don't hear about this or whatever, if they see it, whatever. Probably don't know if it's them or not. We went to the studio, took her to meet Montana and some rappers that came out beforehand. And she was like, Dad, who are they? And I was like, oh, they're just some rappers. Like, the Cappers? And I started laughing. But she's 8. She's barely 8. She's 7, right? And she's like, those are the Cappers. She's like, look at their car. They're Cappers. And I was like, oh, man, you're too smart. Like, you're way too smart. So but kids, right? They just say whatever.
Yeah. They have no filter or anything like that. It just comes right out.
Chris, remember that Capra with the Honda Accord? It was 90 Honda Accord. He showed up with like a Gucci wallet, 2 iPhones. I think he was wearing a Rolex too, and he was like, "This is when we first started our podcast." And he was like, "I think you guys need some money."
Oh, this was before. This was right before.
Oh,
we
yeah, man. He was like, he's a capper. And he showed up late to the meeting in flip flops.
Wait! You said somebody had a Rolex, so he had a $30,000 watch, 2 iPhones, and Gucci on, and a Honda.
Yeah,
a tan Honda Accord.
That's weird.
With the donut wheels.
That's really?
Yeah, I know. I'm serious. Yeah.
Oh, he had Gucci flip flops on too.
I don't know what the flip flops were. Were they Gucci? I don't know. But he just showed up late.
I don't remember. But the Rolex could have been fake. But even I don't know.
He's doing a lot. He's doing too much cap.
Too much. Your daughter would have been like, "Hey, this guy needs to go."
My daughter does this. Puts the hat on. He's capping.
That's cute.
He's capping.
Okay. So I didn't get to ask you about this too. What is Empire about, real quick? And I know they ended, right? The season.
Yeah.
What was Empire about? What was your role? How was it on set with this other actors and actresses?
Empire is like a hip hop drama, like about a label, a huge label that Terrence Howard and Cookie Lyons and Lucius Lyon. You got Taraji. So Taraji's an amazing actress, and then you got Terrence Howard. He's a great actor as well. And you got Trey Byers, Yaz, and then of course Jesse Smollett was on there, but he wasn't on there anymore when I was there. And they have a bunch of awesome guest stars there all the time. So to be on the show, everybody was awesome for the most part. I was background at first. I did background work on there. I was just an extra. And then I got promoted to stand-in. And after stand-in, I got a role. Doesn't really happen that quick and that easy. So definitely blessed for that. I worked my ass off for that. Okay. So my role, I played a young Lucius. Okay. My name was Charlie Dupree. So on the show, I was an actor and a rapper. On a show, all right.
So you were yourself.
I was myself. It was easy as hell, right? And
that's awesome.
I remember doing a fitting. I think they might have mistaken me because I was bigger than what they thought I was in person. So like when I came in there, I had to like try on all these Adidas outfits and stuff for the scene. And then like wardrobe took like 2 hours, bro, because like nothing could fit my back and my shoulders, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it's either too small or too big. They got like the double XL or they got medium. I'm not fitting no medium jogging suit. Like, not happening. Busting through that like
right.
Oh, it's funny.
Old school Hulk.
Yeah. So and there's funny things before that I was like, I'm gonna drink a bunch of water and I'm not gonna eat any carbs. I'm just gonna just, keep my diet. So I did, and I even cut a couple pounds right before it too to kind of slim down a little bit. I was still kind of swole. But it was a cool scene with Trey Byers. We had our own scene on set, and I was working with him. He was so awesome. And Trey Byers is Dre. He plays DeAndre Lion on the show. And he told me almost a year ago, before I got that role, he said I was going to be in that position. He said, you're a great young brother. He's like, I see a great future in you. He's like, you're going to be here. And when you get here, make sure you pull somebody up. Also, I was like, whoa.
The prophet.
He was like dude, he's so intelligent, right? This dude is like smart. He went to Harvard. Yeah, he went to Harvard and everything.
Wow.
So this dude is just, he's got it, right? And so who would have known I'd be on a show with a scene with just me and him? Going on, and I have my own trailer, I have my own assistant, and it was surreal. And you know what? When it was time for me to film, I didn't mess up one time. I even changed some of the stuff that I wanted to happen. I made a suggestion, and they went with it. They went with my suggestion. It was pretty cool. So,
the prophet has spoken. I know my video is gone. I don't know where it happened to it, but it's gonna come.
It's God. But yeah. So like, I guess kind of like with that speaking, like, how easy is it, like, to kind of like do more just like improv, right? Like kind of like on the spot where you're just kind of like recording, and then like just out of the top of your head, right? This just seems better to go this way or flow it this way.
It was like, because what I was doing, I've done it before, right?
Yeah.
I'm being an artist, I've done this my whole life, right? So the directors are just, they're like messengers. They're trying to convey a message to the actors or whatever. So I seen something we could change and make it more realistic. So I was like, hey, I went up to the director and I was like, hey, if I could just do it this way a little bit. And then the second take, I'm going to go, like, I see what you're saying. I like that. Go ahead and do that. That's fine. That's great. I was like, whoa. The first thing I was a suggestion, and she was like, that's great. And then, and like I said, I didn't have to do any extra takes. And then, like, having a whole set built for me, I had a stand-in. I had a dub. So now, instead of me being a stand-in, one of my friends that I knew, he was my stand-in. And I was like, oh, my God, this is so crazy.
Wait, what does that mean if a stand-in? What's a stand-in?
Stand-in is somebody that like fills in the position for markings and stuff on the ground where you're supposed to be. So like somebody that looks like you, and they're around your height, and they go and fill in up so that they do a pre-shot, and then before they bring in the actors, everybody has like a double.
Oh.
I have my own double.
Dang, you got your own double. Shit.
I have my own double, bro. Like, oh, he did the crime. My double. I blame it on him.
That's what's up, though. Like, you put that work in and you got what you deserve. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people feel that things should be handed to them silver spoon, platter, and all.
Gotta put the work in.
Yeah. And I really like what was his name again? His real name? The Prophet.
Oh, Trey Byers is his real name.
Trey Byers. Well, I like what he said. Where like once you're here, you need to bring someone else up with you, because our good friend said the same thing. He's like, once you get up there, like that first table, you're gonna have to bring someone else in, because it's not just gonna be you. You have to create your own team, and if you truly want to win, it's not yourself that's winning. You're winning when your friends are winning, when your team's winning. Yep. And so that has been stuck with me for a while, and I'm seeing that trend, and it's legit. It's like an honor among entrepreneurs, an honor among hustlers.
Reach one, teach one, bro. All right, reach one, teach one. Mm-hmm. And like this, my mentor told me that it's like reach one, teach one, reach one.
I like that. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna be wrapping this up. Mario Canon, what is one last bit of advice you would like to leave our listeners?
Love life and smile. Whatever you're doing, never stop. Do not stop. If you stop, you can't get there if you stop. All right. So whatever people are telling you, what they think you should do or what you shouldn't do, only you know. So just never stop. It's that simple. Never stop.
Awesome. Never stop and keep going.
Never stop. That's just beautiful. Never stop. Just don't stop. I don't care how long it takes you to get there. Just don't stop. You're
never gonna stop, man. Don't worry.
But people compare themselves too much to freaking. They look at little Uzi Vert. They're looking at how quick these people. Your journey's different, bro. You might not make it overnight. You might not. You don't know how long it took him to make. You don't know how long he's been doing it. But your journey is different. Your path different. Your legs different length. Your speed is different. Your body different.
It's kind of like what we say. Everyone's their own main character.
I like that.
In their own GTA 5.
In their own GTA 5. I have all the powers. I have all the
all the cheat codes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. All right. So again, Mario, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you again for taking a part of your time, in your day to kind of hop on here and just have a little chat with us.
Thanks for having me. It was lit, man. I love.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'll be seeing y'all around too. I'm pretty sure we'll be in the same circles and same events and stuff, man. So maybe
eventually, for sure. And then to our listeners, thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to listen to more or watch more of our episodes, you can find us at TheEatingCast. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just hit us up. Speaking of which, Mario, do you have any plugs you want to leave with us?
If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, this is Canon with one N. Twitter is the same. Facebook is just Mario Canon, one N. Y'all need to go get go check my EP out, Dark Mode.
Check it out.
It's got 8 tracks on there. It's powerful. It's fire. If you like real music, if you like intellectual music at the same time, I got some lit stuff on there too. Go check it out.
For sure. Awesome.
For sure. All right. So with that said, again, Mario, thank you for dining with us or having a chat. And for our viewers and our listeners, we just want to say thank you for stopping by and listening to us. And we will catch you on the next one. Take care and bye-bye.
See ya.